cruise around with the world's most famous skateboarder, Tony Hawk, in his cute little Mini Cooper.
So way over those hills is the valley for Tijuana, and that's where we rented the bull ring for the end. We actually rented the bull ring for 2 weeks at $200 a day.
No way.
Yeah, I went and got cash and handed it to the guy, and he rolled it up and put it in a rubber band, put it in his pocket. He's like, okay, go. The loop was attached to the ramp. So for the most part, I was just trying tricks and getting video and just kind of looking at the loop off to the side going, that's coming. I'm gonna have to do that, you know, the last day. And the last day came and no pressure, right?
No.
And then I made the loop after a few tries and a few falls. It's deceiving, man. It's like you're just stuck in midair, flying, not knowing where you are.
So explain the new configuration, the corkscrew that you just did.
Well, that was just something I thought of, like, if you could do the loop, you know, why not turn it sideways and do a vertical carve? And you know, it seems pretty basic. Like, it seems like someone would have thought of it or done it already. And then once I made it and saw it, I was like, this is heavy, this is hard. And it was hard to get used to that. Even having the experience of a loop, it didn't really translate. I had to figure out how to adjust to every single part of that thing.
Which was a harder learning curve?
I think the spiral was trickier because the pads didn't do much. You know, the pads in the loop save your life every time, pretty much.
Right.
The pads in that thing are just kind of for show, because I kept crashing onto my hip in the middle of a carve.
Damn.
They don't really save you from much.
You look good.
Oh, thanks. It was fun. I don't want to do it again, but it was fun.
That's it, one and done.
Yeah.
Could you have ever foreseen it coming this full circle?
Not like this, no way. You know, people say, is this your dream? Like, dream? This was never a dream because no one had done this. No one had ever made a giant career out of skating, you know? When we were growing up, you reach an age of responsibility and then you gotta get a job. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are.
But I feel like you, Costin, Paul Rodriguez, these guys are kind of 1% of pro skateboarders, like really like doing super well. And then there's almost like no middle class when it comes to professional skateboarding, and there's a lot of guys that struggle.
You know, I've actually had to do a lot of public speaking lately, which is the strangest. But the thing I tell people is, do what you love, no matter what it is, because in the end, you're gonna be happy doing it. Like, I love skateboarding. I would do it for free any day of the week, and now I get paid ridiculous amounts of money to do it. I get paid ridiculous amounts of money to go talk about it, but I love my job. And so the financial success of that, you know, it's awesome, but that's not the goal, and that's not what should matter. If you love going to work every day, you're successful. That's how I see it. Like, if you really love your work, that's the definition of success, because you would do it for free anyway.
Didn't you jump the car right around here?
Yeah, actually that was right up here. Minnie hired a stunt coordinator and we figured out the timing and went for it. It was pretty cool. It was cool that Minnie allowed me to come up with the idea and that they believed in it and made it happen. And
had you ever jumped a car like that before?
I'd only jumped a stationary car. You know, you think of a Mini like, well, that's a pretty low car, but off a jump ramp and landing to flat, it was a little bit higher than I expected.
How sketchy is that, just mentally, to have a car come straight at you?
It was harder with trying to coordinate the timing. Like, he was driving by the side of where I was gonna jump, and that was more freaky. And then once we did that a few times, it was like, all right, we got the rhythm, let's do it. Let's just do it right now. And I was a machine as opposed to, I was sitting there worried if it was gonna work or not, you know? And I trusted the guy. He was a professional stunt driver, and I trusted he was gonna get the timing right.
But that thing's dead on. I mean, you didn't go off to the side or anything.
It was dead on, yeah.
I would have panicked.
I was more worried about, so we only made a couple of the jump ramps. The jump ramp was made out of foam, and so they were disposable. You know, once they were destroyed, you couldn't use it again. I was more worried about wasting those. And so when I landed, I thought I was gonna wheel bite, and as soon as my wheel hit and I was going, I was like, yes, it's over. It's done. No more jump ramps.
Well, I've been hit by a taxi cab, so I'm a bit gun shy when it comes to cars getting anywhere near me.
Yeah, I think if that had happened to me, maybe I wouldn't have chosen that stunt.
How tough was it for you to gain so much popularity at a young age? Be a child star, quote unquote.
It was weird because I lived a paradox. I lived in the world of being a recognized skater, and then I go to high school and no one gave a shit about me. And I was a ghost, you know what I mean? And if they knew that I skated, I was marked as a dork. And so it didn't really matter how successful you were. It was like, you still skate? You still do that? I'm like, yeah, I flew to Florida last week and won a big contest. And people were cheering for me, you know? So to live that paradox kept me in reality.
Now skateboarding is bigger than ever, and in some ways the skateboarders are becoming the jocks. What's your take on...
That's weird, man. That's just... I think the strangest shift that I've seen is that skaters are the cool kids in school.
It's so weird.
I mean, we were below the nerds on the totem pole of cool. Like, I left school at lunchtime because I didn't want to be made fun of, you know? So it was like this, you were marked, and now the kids in school are like, you know, the girls are interested in them, and yeah, it's so strange. And then there becomes people that get into it because they just want to be rich or famous. And that's the goal, and that was never a reason for getting into skating when I was young, because that didn't exist. Those options were not there. So this was the site of Del Mar Skate Ranch. This building was the pro shop and arcade, where I spent half the time. Everything's still here, by the way. Driving range, mini golf, tennis courts, RV park, but the skate park is gone. And now it has become, from what I understand, a volleyball training camp or something. Right here was what we call the freestyle area, or the reservoir. And then it went up a level, and then you had the keyhole, the bowl we skated all the time. Then above that was the Kona Bowl, and then behind that was half pipe and bank slalom, snake run that we rarely skated. And then that's where I lost my front teeth, Del Mar half pipe.
What happened?
I did a 50-50 over the hip, and my truck just stopped completely, and I was not ready to come in. And next thing I knew, I was waking up in an ambulance.
Damn. Is that when you started using copers?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think that's when I had tried to give them up. Maybe it was when I started using copers. You might be right. Yeah, this is super weird seeing volleyball courts here, because this was a dirt lot for 30 years.
When did they do this? Yeah.
This just happened in the last year.
So where was the part that they unearthed?
It was right back here, a little ways, probably just past the building. And that was the bank slalom course that we never skated.
No.
In the competition series that I grew up in, you had to skate everything. So you had to do bank slalom, you had to do freestyle, you had to do regular slalom and pool. And you were scored overall, because we were all representing our home parks. So I was on the Oasis Park team skating all those events.
What was your go-to freestyle move?
That's a good question. Oh, I used to be able to get on my board like this, and get my legs over my shoulders and balance like that. I can't do it anymore, I'm too old.
Is that good for points?
Nope.
I wouldn't think so.
Because every other trick I tried that was freestyle, I'd blow it. My feet were just too big.
Yeah.
Riding a 5-inch board, you know?
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, well, at least it's something now, because it was torturous to drive by here for 30 years and just be a dirt lot, thinking, oh, this could still be a skate park.
You want to piss on the sand?
No, I'm good.
Let's just get out of here. This is stupid.
Know. They don't know anything.
No one knows anything. How much does it hurt that Riley has a pro shoe and you don't? I lose sleep over that.
I love it. I love it. I'm wearing them right now. The struggle is ironic. You know what hurts is when I ask him to ask Lakai to get me shoes and he forgets. That's what hurts.
Have you thought about maybe putting a sponsor me tape together for a brand?
Hey Riley, can you give me the number directly to the team manager?
Listen, we can't really do anything for you, but we'll call you.
We're not making size 13 anymore. Sorry about that.